I wanted to mention a little bit about processing flowers. What I mean by processing flowers is basically when you go buy your flowers, they're in these little plastic sleeves. They're usually rubber band. And so we want to kind of let them escape that and go into a bucket of water. If you only have a vase or you don't have a bucket like this, that's totally fine. A really tall vase or even a pitcher, like a water pitcher or something that you can have a lot of water in. And we want to be able to put a lot of flowers in there. So the bigger the bucket or vessel, the better for processing flowers. So we're unwrapping, taking a pair of scissors, letting them escape their wrapping and getting the flower food packet out. Save those if you can. Undoing the rubber band at the end. I wanted to show you roses for processing specifically because first and foremost, they have some really sharp thorns here, and you can absolutely cut those off. Just snipping them off. You can take any of the leaves off that you don't like. When I process flowers, I kind of do them one at a time if it's something that needs that individual attention. So I'm coming down and I'm getting all those leaves that are bent or I don't think I'll be able to see that are going to be in the vase. So if you have leaves that are way down here, you know, we're not seeing those in the vase. One of the things that you think about when you process is I don't want any leaves in water. And the reason is it goes back to floral care where you want to make sure that there's not a lot of organic things in water to make that bacteria growth. And leaves are a culprit to making that bacteria grow. So we're gonna definitely take off those lower leaves. A, because we're not gonna see them in the vase, but B, also we don't want any leaves in the water. So you might make a little mess. I like to make like a little pile so that way I can just grab. And when we process flowers, we really are just cutting the stems at a 45-degree angle, about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch up the stem. And then we're gonna put it in nice water. So I fill up this bucket about that much. I wanna make sure they're touching the bottom. And then I've got flower food in this water also. And when you process flowers, the intention is to let the flowers drink. So we want them to be as hydrated as possible. When they've been sitting at the grocery store, who knows how long they've been there? A couple of days. They've been sitting in a cooler at least for that amount of time. And so we want to make sure that we give those flowers a fresh cut because the end of those stems are not able to drink that water as nicely as a fresh cut would, excuse me. So put those flowers in the water bucket. The minimum is 2 hours. For the most hydrated flowers, overnight is even better. But what if you're doing a design and you need the flowers now? It's okay if you miss this processing step. You just want to make sure that you do give your stems a fresh cut before you start designing. Again, just so that way they have some fresh water to drink and it helps with the base life of those flowers. So hopefully that helps you.